Yes. Kaylee has to be out there. Oh.
Move this thing in a little bit.
Let's go ahead and close the door here. Who's not visible?
Keith. And there's no audio levels thing on here. And recording.
Is it recording?
It is recording.
It is recording. That means that they must. So you're saying it's recording as in recording.
It says it is recording. As
Sweet.
red letters
There's
say
no
REC.
Okay, there's no red light here. And that's okay, because the red light would be right there if it was going to be on. Sweet.
That's right there.
Sweet pickles. I hate pickles, by the way. All right.
Not everybody loves pickles.
Let's get started.
Okay, we met with the emergency services here today, and so we decided to start in the library for the sample. And so we needed to get together today so that we could decide on how we were going to put everything together and get it going. So we have the options. We could do the video pan of the whole room, and then outline key features in either separate clips or pause it while you pan. Or if we get the 360 thing going, then we can do that. But that probably won't be this week.
I'm doing some research on that. My dad and I have been looking at Forpay and freeware software on that 360 stuff. Have you ever seen that before?
The 360.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen some.
It's just amazing. And after what Chief Officer Biles had said, that really is the way to go for them. On the short end of things, you know, if they're really quickly needing to find some information, they just go to the spot they want, zoom in on it.
The only problem with that is, are we going to be providing the viewer?
In the freeware version, there wouldn't be a need for the viewer.
Well, how do you use that? I mean,
We'll work it out. Okay. I know what you're saying about a viewer. Now you could have that as an installation on their CD-ROM. That's worst case scenario. But we're going to try to find one where it'll open up on anybody's computer, anyone of their brothers. That's what a lot of open sourcing does. They try to keep it so that.
oh, right, but you still have to have the installation program. Anyway.
It might need it. If it does, we'll have it there for them to install. Where I see the potential of doing the 360 thing is the fact that we can take out, we got 4 digital cameras in the AV department, okay? We could have teams, 4 teams going out at the same time, going into each of the rooms and getting the pictures that they need to get, and then having a day where we have everybody and their brother on this project with all this open source, these programs put on all these computers, either in their JLab or one of the other labs. And then I train quickly. This is a quick thing. What it does is you take individual photographs and it does what they call stitching. And it stitches the photos together like this, and then that's how you get the 360 thing. It's really cool. And it's very easy for us to do. All we do is open the program, import the files in order, and then click a button and it does it for you. It'll render it, and voila. And you put it in whatever format you're going to do. I've been talking to Dad about how we should go about doing this in order to have, you know, each page with that, perhaps some information, side information on it, and so forth. He suggested having web pages. We won't post them, okay? But the HTML format going into the CD-ROM. We won't be using DVDs with this. It'll be CDs because the files will be so much smaller.
Unless we go with the high resolution, which would be better for their purposes.
And we're going to look at all those options. I don't care if we use a DVD or a CD-ROM. I don't care as long as we get everything in there.
Yeah.
So that's the possibilities. Now, realistically speaking, I see if we go the 360 route, we probably won't have the bonus information on the sidebars yet. I think we ought to leave room for it for next semester. See what I'm saying? Because this, if we go 360 route, we can actually do what they're saying, build on and update. Like the science one, for example. Next semester is going to look a little bit different than what it will look like when we do this after spring break. Because it's going to show without the floor time.
Actually,
Do this.
if we go with the 360 route, we wouldn't necessarily need much of a sidebar. It'd be a lot easier to just basically highlight important features of that room and then import that in there. So when it stitches it together, you've got certain areas that kind of stand out, like, okay, this is water shut off, whatever.
Now, what they have all the tools, all the schematics, everything that they need.
Right, but the problem is, or at least this is the impression I got during the meeting, was that they were having, or that they didn't want to have to look through the schematics because they're very confusing. It's like, wait, is this the water line, is this gas line, what does this do? If we went through and highlighted key features with an indicator of what they are, all you'd have to say is, okay, what's in this room? And, then you'd see it, like, okay, because it's different to see a little dot that says water shut off here, but I know from, being in the janitor's break room that there are panels with a huge number of switches. That little dot might say, okay, it's one of these few switches, but, there's no real way to tell. By doing an individual highlighting situation on there, it would eliminate the need for them to look at the schematics in a lot of cases.
So what you're saying is you would want a still image and then have, like in Photoshop,
Right,
arrows
like
to...
we would take the number of pictures that would wind up being stitched together, then on the picture, before we imported it into the 3D thing, just go around it with essentially an airbrush tool and outline it in bright green or something. For just as a idea. Then when you import that image, the computer would see it as that's what that room looks like. So when you go into it in 3D, you would have that portion of the room highlighted.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying. That we doctor it up. We
Right.
actually do a photo manipulation so that this
Right, to make certain things stand out.
neon green shows up.
Well, I'm not saying we would actually do it in neon green.
But you could do something like that where you see it and you can zoom in on it. You could, I say with 3D element, you could get to the box, but what's inside the box, you would have to have a separate picture, just a close-up
Right.
shot, if that's what you want.
Unless we took a picture of the box open.
Even if you did, the type of resolution you have to have, because you're getting a whole
Yeah, that's
room
true.
of the room and then get to
Well,
it
unless you used
That'd be tough.
differing resolutions. If you took all the pictures in a relatively low resolution, and then on that one picture you had a very high resolution, you could still stitch them together, and you'd be able to zoom in on that one section of the room.
I would have to
So,
see what kind
I
of
mean-
resolution you'd have to have in order to be able to do
It would have to be
I
a tremendous resolution. We'd need to use DVDs.
But I don't know if 16 megapixels will do that, because if you're taking a wide shot of a room and you're trying to zero in, that's, you're getting down to little pixels, and I don't know how much of the rest, and 16 is not accessible. I think most of you could conceivably get is like 8 megapixels.
See, I don't know how
And I
what
don't
they've
even know
got.
if the Pulse has that.
Anyway,
We're just talking
Um,
possibilities.
if it's going to be on a website or a web page, could we not have like a little link to a video that
That highlights that.
highlights the
yes,
important
yes.
features of the room?
Yes, you could do that. You could do that. In that tour that who was mentioning the tour
I-
with Mr. Patrick? If we did a tour with Mr. Patrick, I would suggest that not only is it videotaped, like you're suggesting, but that might be our self-guided tour.
I don't think that would be a great idea because anytime you're walking around, there's going to be a lot of camera shake. But if he says, okay, over here we've got this, over here we've got this, over here we got this, over here we got this, there's not time to go up and individually look at each one. I'm saying we would videotape the tour and use that as a reference for when we are doing a self-guided tour.
The main thing that we're talking about giving them here is something that it's very interactive, which I think is very helpful to them. But as a passive one, I think part of the tour, highlights of the tour. We're not going to take them from.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No, that wouldn't even be a consideration. But if we put a person on that thing, take this raw footage that we got here and make it as polished as you can, little highlights tour thing. And I think it would be a key place. It wouldn't be a room 108. Come on, room 108 you can take a look at in the 360. But I'm talking like the boiler room.
Right.
I'm talking
Right.
parts of the auditorium. Not
talking
the
about-
library itself, but the back room. Because I'm going to take you guys to that. If you got to go, you got to go. But I want to take you back there and show you where the panels and stuff are back there. Because that's what's going to be of interest to them as far as a video is concerned.
And actually, while we're doing this little excursion, I'll probably videotape that so that you can see what I mean by just, using that as a reference.
Yeah.
For your
We can do
video.
that. So, basically, as far as finding that freeware stuff, the one holdup right now is GUI, the graphics user interface. You know how you can, on our computer, you can go through, click on the mouse and stuff. That's GUI. Okay, we've got the program, but unless you can actually do the key commands, it's useless.
Is it
So
DOS or?
It's not in DOS, which I don't think.
Well, if you
They can run on Linux, but
if
they
you
can run it on here too.
if you give me a Windows copy of that, even without the GUI, I can see what I can do with it.
But I think we can get the GUI. It's just the problem was it wasn't available for download over the weekend. So Dad's going to try to get it up and get it downloaded today. If it does today, we're in business because we'll have one copy. We can make multiple copies, and it's freeware. So we can put it literally on a number of computers, and that'll make our job a little bit easier. We've got a tough job. And realistically speaking, if we can just get the 360 part for every single room, mission accomplished for this semester. Seriously, they'll be like, they really will be, because every room would be covered as far as that's concerned. Because they've already got the hallways. They just need
What
the
I
inside.
personally really want to get done, I haven't talked to Keith about this, but my key concerns on this are the individual rooms having 360, or at least mention. Some of the rooms, I'm not even entirely certain we really need 360 at this point. But what I'm really wanting are key points. The auditorium, the office, cafeteria, these areas that would be a problem spot if there was, an armed hostage taker or any, major event. The places that would be likely to cause the most trouble.
Yeah.
Because while the 360 view is nice, on some rooms it's not going to be quite as effective as on others. So
I think when you're talking auditorium, cafeteria, you're talking multiple 360s.
right.
Okay. In the auditorium, you've got the main room. You'll have the
Actually, on the auditorium, I want to do and this is just my personal, I would want to do a 360 of the main room from the back of the room, from the stage.
well, don't say the back of the room, because if you go to the center of the on the center of the audience area, you will get literally the entire
Well, see, the problem though
that entire
is
spot.
the problem with that is the way that it's sloped. If you put it in the middle of the seating area, you won't get certain aspects of it. I'm
You
afraid.
get it all.
Okay.
You will get
It
it all.
really depends on what kind
If
of
the
lens.
program blends it, it'll
Okay.
if it stitches well, it'll get it all. But going up onto the stage area and getting the
Right.
360 of the stage,
And then
back from the sound room, the two wing rooms, there's also a
access to the
access
right.
point
What I
out
want
there.
to
I
do
mean, you
ex-
can get 360s of
Yeah.
all that stuff.
outside of that, the two 360s I had mentioned, I'm probably one for the sound booth and the backstage area. What I would want to do is actually a video tour of the catwalks, because there's no good way to do a 360 of the catwalks. I think it would be a lot easier to do a video on some portions of it. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll cross that bridge when we
Yeah.
get to it.
Exactly. Would you like to take a look at this? You need to duck out. This might require a couple, I don't know, it might take a couple of 360s in here because of the books, the bookshelf areas. I'm not sure. Unless we found a spot like right about here. This would work. This would work because you'll get just about every nook and cranny here. You get all the doors, even the two doors that are kind of slightly right there, and get in between each of these. Okay, pretty much get a good shot of it, and we might even take it as close to right here so that you can see down the hall. There you go. I like that. I like this a little bit better because you can see doors there, the doors there. You turn here, and you can see the doors right through here. This would probably be the best spot to do a 360 in this room. We got to think about that because when you're dealing with doors, windows, and especially being able to see down the glass hallway from here, this will be great. And you got the main entrance right there. So, yeah, I like that spot for the 360 in this room to show this side of the room. But we wouldn't have to go so comprehensive far away. This might be good enough right through here. Now, when we're doing 360s here, I don't want to hit the broadcast studio yet. That's another little animal here. We might go ahead and get this office with the 360 and this office in here with the 360. We'll wait on the broadcast studio because that was 2 rooms with all kinds of funky little things.
I mean, are we not going to do like a video for the important stuff?
What do you mean?
Like anything that might need to, important things that might need to be called to their attention? Are we not going to make like little clips illustrating?
We could. I mean, we can make little video clips. Here's the features. That might be the spot for doing a video.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I mean, I think that could be integrated well with the 360. If you like have your list of the rooms, or actually a map interface would probably be best. You click on the room that you want, and then it has a 360 up there, and then you can like move it around.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says click to see highlights.
And then have a quick time movie or something like that. That could work. That's why we've got to discuss these kind of things now.
Yeah.
Do 360 in here. 2 exits through here. Both leading to here. Now, the fun part. This leads into Mrs. Goddard's office. The other 2 doors form a U shape around her office. on in here. Okay, this is the copy room, as they call it. We'll see how we designate this. This is all one big room, actually, but we can call it the copy room for now. That's our jargon. Right here, this is the fires. No, wait a minute. Yeah, this is the fire system, I believe. And right here is the, this out of the way. This is our circuit box. It covers a lot of different things. This is not well documented here. This does cover some of them, but as far as like broadcast schematics, I had to come in here and flip switches until they turn things on or off. And I've got the schematic for broadcast, but it's not posted.
So is that just for this section? That's fine.
That I do not know. I do not know. But you can see here the white, the gold, blue sections. And I'm thinking as far as our 360s are concerned, that we go ahead and split them off into those 3 sections. Okay? We got 3 websites, one will take you white, and you got all of your dots that give you the rooms. You click on it, boom, you got your 360.
So we need to designate all these halls.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to talk with Mr. Patrick about,
Okay.
on how we do that. Do we label it white 1, I mean W1, W2? Do we want to do it that way?
You could do it like the highways and have even numbers go across. That might work.
That might work too.
Good.
Yeah. That might work great. I like that idea. Yeah, because that can even work in the blue section there. And it'd be great, like Mr. Patrick was wanting to, love to see a day where we actually have road signs that tell you where you're going. So we'll see. We'll talk with him on that. And this box over here is is for the teachers to swipe in
Oh,
this. So yeah. So that's how we put the staff enters, and that takes care of that. Obviously, we got the copiers and stuff around here. Doing a 360 in here is going to be really interesting because it is very cluttered, but you know what? I'm not telling Mrs. Goddard when we're coming in here because if this is the way it is, this is the way it is.
needs to be the way it's going to be in an emergency.
Exactly. Exactly. And then this over here, various things are over in this area, but this leads back out to the library, and then this is Mrs. Goddard's office in here. So we'll be getting 360s of all this stuff, but I think this is a good pilot for what we want to do, and when we present it to them, this is what you're looking for. Hopefully, there's going to be oohs and ahs as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
Would they like to have more information? I'm being realistic on our timetable to get to May. What we're being asked to do is tremendous as far as being able to do that. Hopefully, we'll be able to add some of that extra key information. I think it would be a good idea to have little QuickTime files to show, and I having either you guys or Mr. Patrick explaining, things like those boxes would be good. And that is a, bonus features or whatever for these particular rooms. Not all rooms will need it.
Yeah.
Most rooms won't need it except for the big boys. So
it'd basically only be like here, and then the boiler room, the auditorium, maybe.
the tunnel downstairs. So
that wouldn't be too hard.
it is tough.
Well,
but
the video part, that's not going to be a whole lot.
right, there won't be a lot of video. Actually, as far as file space is concerned, very happy about that. If we can get the 360 thing to work, which is what they're really looking for. So hopefully we can give them what they're looking for and go from there. Man, I really hope that works out.